Hello, welcome back to the channel. So, it's 2021 now, a new year of hobby goals, and I've got quite a good few decent hobby goals to get through this year, but I thought I'd start off first with an army showcase update on my Grey Knights. Basically what I'm going to be doing this year is I've neglected YouTube quite a lot with me being quite busy with work, so I'll kind of rearrange my schedule now so where I can at least upload a video once a week. My army showcase videos seem to be doing quite well with everybody. They seem to enjoy watching them, and I've had really good comments back. So I'll be doing more of them, and hopefully that'll spur me on to kind of keep the ball rolling, as it were, and get all of my armies kind of hit out the park and get them all finished and done. But as I say, I'm gonna hopefully try and do one of these a week if I can. Get all the projects finished that I need to get finished, and just in general have a good chit chat on YouTube, really. My hobby goals for this year, I've got obviously more units to add to my Grey Knights. I've got pretty much the starting, as you can see in the back here, of an Imperial Knight army. They are kind of like attached in with my Grey Knights. I've got my couple of Lord of the Rings armies. I want to build a Warhammer Fantasy army this year as well, because obviously the announcement for the Old World Wars is now coming out again, so I'm kind of wanting to get on that before prices get really high. I've got a couple of competition models I want to do, which I'm going to be painting over on Instagram Live. So if you're not following me on Instagram, jump over there and follow me on there. I'm a tabletop painter, so you can then, probably on Saturday evenings, I'll be doing Instagram Live where I'll just be sitting, painting, having a chat, talking to people, just generally painting my models for a change. But today I thought I'd go over what I've added to my Grey Knights army. So as you can see, there is a few more models added, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's start off over here on the back corner, which is my second Imperial Knight. So this one is Construction Suit Unit B. Basically with my Imperial Knights, I've themed them around construction. The whole backstory is there was a hive city which was being built on one of these godforsaken planets that no one's even ever heard of. My Imperial Knights were there to do construction, clear debris, help build out a defense walls, take anything down that's bigger than a person that tries to get over the wall and eat people, like the native creatures and things. So it's why they're quite heavily battle damaged. But I really enjoy painting Imperial Knights. I never thought I'd quite enjoy painting something that size at all, really, but I'm really pumped to get more. I want to get next the Imperial Knight that has the two turrets on the top and the extra guns and all that kind of stuff, and some upgrade kits for these. I want to get different weapon arm options because these weapons aren't attached, so I can just pop the arm off and swap them out. But yeah, so I've added another one of them, and I've added two Armiger Warglaives, I think they're called. I've added two of those. Those have got their own squad markings. So all my Imperial Knights are going to have A, B, C, and D on them. So construction unit B. It's just going to be easier in game for me to be like, yeah, unit B's taking this much damage. Plus, it looks pretty cool on the model. This one I picked up quite cheap off eBay a while back. It had been sitting in my drawer for probably the best part of 6 months. I've been wanting to paint it for ages and ages and ages. Completed a job, and I thought just gonna have a day to chill. The other half went out, took the daughter out, so I thought, screw it, sat there, built it, painted it all in a day, weathered it up, had the base already pre-made, obviously, because what I do is I pre-make the bases, and that kind of spurs me on to kind of just getting my arse in gear, really, and building them. But I added him, which is really cool. My friend gave me a 3D printer. Yeah, I know, he actually gave me a 3D printer. He bought one years ago when he was in Germany, and he never really used it much. He kind of just had it sitting in his shed. So he gave it to me just before Christmas and said, you'll get more use out of it than I will. Happy 3D printing. So what I've done is I've actually printed these 3D movement trays for my normal sized guys. So it kind of just makes it, I won't probably use these in game, but it just makes it easier for when I'm trying to pick up like chunks of models. So rather than picking them up one by one, I can just pick up a tray, put it into a box, and yeah, it looks quite nice as well. They're just simple 3D printed bases, like little Holden base things. They took about 10 minutes to print on the 3D printer. As soon as I got the printer, I went crazy and just started printing anything and everything, which is kind of bad because my electricity bill's gone through the roof. But yeah, I just did those just as a little kind of like an added extra. As I said, I've added 2 of these Warglaives. I've been wanting kind of to get these for a while, but never really had an excuse or a reason or the funds to kind of do them. So just before Christmas, before this second lockdown hit, I went to my local Games Workshop and just had a little stroll around the store and thought, there's nothing really near I want to buy. And then I looked at them and I thought, they look like fun, you know, like kind of like a decent couple of hours worth of fun to paint. Painted them in the same scheme as my Imperial Knights, so they're all tied in together, all construction suits, so they've all got the hazard markings on the legs and what have you. I also added, if I can get this one out, if I can get it closer, I also done the same kind of thing where I've added the names of the suits to the tops. This one's Unit 1, so it's got 1 on there, that one's Unit 2. They've got their kill markings on there, so that's he killed something big, so he gets a big skull, and then you've got the 3 little ones, so they were probably just kind of commendations for defending outer walls and things, because I like to give my units and my troops and stuff backstories, because it kind of makes it more special to me. It kind of pumps me on more to kind of get more done to my army. So obviously this guy, he was on defense duty patrolling the outer wall while these big old Imperial Knights were building it. Something come along, he attacked it, killed it, he's got the scars to prove it. Same with the other one as well, he's got 3 little kills, so he was probably on construction duty, or he'd done well in like the simulations or something. But they were just really cool little kits to paint. Bit gutted that they didn't obviously come with the other weapons loadout, because apparently Games Workshop don't want you having 2 sets of loadouts for 1 unit. So obviously to increase their prices, if I want to buy the ones with the guns, I'm now going to have to go out and buy another 45 quid box of these just to put guns on them basically. I would 3D print them, but obviously I want to add these into my army, which I wouldn't want to put on display and like armies on parade and things, so I don't really want to do much 3D printing of like 40k stuff, just purely because I don't want to get disqualified from the tournaments and stuff. Yeah, so I've got Old Faithful over there as well, he's still there. I added a little bit of extra battle damage to him in certain places and touched up little areas that I'd kind of missed, so I've added a few scratches here and there. I'm also running out of these skull transfers as well. These were on the old tank kit from the Imperial Guard tank kit. I think it was the Lehman Russell, the Chimera or something. Not the Chimera. Yeah, one of those tank kits. But I'm down to my last set now, which is why I had to use the smaller ones on the other unit. But I only plan on adding two more unit Imperial Knights, and probably another two of the shooty guys, and then I'm going to call my Imperial Knights done, because I think that'll be quite a large, decent detachment. So I can either run my Imperial Knights as an army and have a small detachment of Grey Knights, or I can run my Grey Knights as an army and have a small detachment of Imperial Knights. Because the trouble with my Grey Knights army is they don't have very many big guns, so taking one of these or taking 2 of these, it's just going to help me out in the long run, game-wise, because it's going to give me a bit more punch on the table. Taking you down the front, I've got a Razorback. So went on the trade pages one day. Guy was looking for some trades for some Alien vs Predator stuff, and I had some surplus to requirement I didn't need or wasn't going to use, so I traded a Razorback kit. It obviously sprayed it like neon green, unfortunately, on the sprue, so it wasn't too bad to kind of coat and cover. But everything on here is like detachable. I can take this whole back section off and replace it, make it a Rhino. I did add my Forge World upgrade kit to it, so I've got the Forge World upgrade driver. Where is he? There he is. So he's actually a Forge World guy. I just thought that'd make it look a little bit more tied in. So he's got the torso, arms and bolt gun, and the head from Forge World. That was quite an old kit, and I had that for quite a long time sitting in a drawer. with this army, I pretty much knew I wanted to do this army for years, so I just bought pieces here and there to do it up over time. So I used that on there. I still have my Land Raider upgrade kit, which I will really will buy a Land Raider within this year sometime. I really want one. Move on to another couple of units that I've added. Down the front here, just repose this. I have added 3 new heroes. So I've got these two and this chap here. This guy was originally painted for Golden Demon, but I fucked up on a couple of bits. Wasn't really happy with how he was turning out, so I just said fuck it. Stuck him on a base, and he's now a chaplain for my Grey Knights army. So he's got an Inquisitor's shoulder pad anyway, so he'll still tie in. But he's now the chaplain for my army. Just use him as a generic chaplain, nothing swanky or special. Got this guy, so it's one of the metal Inquisitors. I did the Lords of Rings made to order thing a few weeks back, I think it was, and I only wanted one of the models from the made to order set, but obviously with GW you have to spend over a certain amount, which was like 20 quid I think to get free postage, which was like $2.95. So instead of just buying the model for 15 quid, I ended up just chucking an Inquisitor in there just to paint him up really. He was only a tenner, so it's not too bad, but he was quite a nice little kit. I did have one of these quite a few years ago. Obviously he was just trashed a few years ago. Let me see if I can just put a bit of shade. I didn't go too overboard with him. He won't really be used in the armies. He's just there more for visual purposes. So if I do a display board, I'll just have him on there, and this is his cohort. I got this guy as well. So this is, I believe his name is Chief Librarian Tigris or something from the Ultramarines. I bought a job lot of models, broken models, bits and pieces that I was going to use for conversions probably about a year back. Used most of the models, and I rummaged through the bag and I found this guy at the bottom. I found his torso, then I found his arms, and I found his backpack and everything. And I was like, I want to do this, guys. So put him on a post. Found out it was the Ultramarines Chief Librarian. So I thought, I'm not having Ultramarine, so rummaged through the bits box, found a Grey Knight arm with the bolter on it, strapped to him, changed his shoulder pads out for Grey Knights ones, put a Grey Knight backpack on him, cut the top of his staff off and replaced it with a Grey Knights one. And there you go. That's now my new hero, who is going to be a librarian in my army. So I've got a Terminator librarian, which is this chap here. So I can either use a Terminator one or just a normal generic man librarian in a way, because that's the good thing about having the old Space Marines and not having Primaris, is I can actually take these kind of units. So nobody really buys the old Space Marine models anymore, so I can pick these up for like next to nothing now on trade pages, because everybody's after Primaris because they're like really good in game. But you know, for the sake of a few quid, I'm quite happy to add him to my army. He looks quite nice, and obviously when I do my display board, he'll be on there at the front. And yeah, he looks. I'm pretty chuffed with how he looks. But as a whole, this is currently how the army. Oh, sorry. This is how the army is sitting currently. So as you can see from obviously the last video that I posted up, which has now like 1,600 views, which is like crazy. I only thought I'd get to like probably about 100 or 200 or something, and I just kind of skyrocketed over the weeks. As an overview, like you can just see how much I've added, like bulked out the army. I've added, obviously these 3 here add quite a large amount. The 3 new heroes down the front here have added like a large amount as well. Added a tank, my first tank, so I'm quite happy about that. I will get another 5 Terminators at some point as well, and I do want to get another Dread Knight to have as a Grandmaster, because he'd be really cool to have as an HQ, which kind of really want to convert up another one. I want to have one standing with obviously one of these Force Glaive things, just having it standing upwards so he's like leaning on it, or convert one with a ball and a mace, like a ball and chain type mace. It's all in the pipeline, but obviously this is why I'm now doing more hobby vlogs and stuff, to kind of motivate myself to do these. I've got drawers full of models that need to be done, and I've had literally I've had them sitting in there for near enough like 2-3 years, which isn't good, but it's good that I'm busy with work, but it's just not good for my own hobby. But this whole COVID year thing has kind of put it into perspective a little bit more, that I can spend a little bit more time on my models. I didn't kind of appreciate the tournament scene that much when it was about. I was like, oh yeah, it's another tournament now. I can't be asked to go to that. I can't be asked to go to this. So I don't really want to drive there or go to that. But now with COVID and stuff, it kind of makes me sit there and I'm thinking, God, I wish there was a tournament on. I really wish I could go and have a chat with this person, or I wish I was playing these games and this, that, and the other. So, I'm wanting to get my armies done and get them all up and running. But so the next hobby vlog is going to be pretty much these chaps. So I'm currently building my Numenor army back up, and I've done some like conversions for mounted Numenorians and things, and I'm really wanting to get those done. I've had them since release day, which was, God, I think I was back in, when did Lord of the Rings come out? Was it 99 or early 2000s or something? Way back when they first came out with Games Workshop. That's when I bought the army, with a lot of pocket money, I must add, but they were a lot cheaper back then. So I've done a lot of conversions to them and stuff, like Sealder and what have you. But I'll do them in another video. But as I say, for the Grey Knights now, I am quite happy with how they are turning out. I think the next attachment that I kind of want to add is, I always loved the way the old Inquisitor armies tied in Cadians and stuff. They had like inquisitorial Cadians that worked just for the Inquisitor, just for the Grey Knights. I think they were all in black. They had like one silver, one red shoulder pad. They really looked the business. I absolutely loved them. So what I'm going to be doing now is I found up a unit of 20 of my Cadians that I didn't even know I had. I found these in a jiffy bag at the bottom of a set of drawers. So I've got basically a unit of 20 of these, and I'm going to be painting those up as inquisitorial stormtroopers. So I'm going to get a Chimera. I'm going to get probably another 20 troops, so I'll have 40 troops. I'm going to get a command squad. I'll get probably 2 or 3 Chimeras. I think that's what they're called. The troop transports for them anyway. I'm going to get like one for each unit. I'm going to put backpacks on them and stuff. Convert them up so they look a lot different to normal Cadians. I want to have some of the old metal commissars as well. I'm going to try and look for those somewhere if I can find them on eBay or wherever. I did have a massive Cadian army, and I ended up selling it for like stupidly cheap years ago, because I just needed to get rid of it because it was really like annoying me. But when you get to when you get around to these kind of armies, you're like, oh, I wish I really had that model still, because I could have added it in. But yeah, so the next attachment for these will be another Imperial Knight, the big one with all the guns, and a small unit of Cadians to kind of add as inquisitorial stormtroopers. Because rather than me building another army here or another army there, I'm just going to keep adding to an army. So I'll add a small detachment of Cadians to these, then I'll probably move on to a small detachment of Custodes or Sisters of Battle, probably Sisters of Battle to be honest, because I really want to paint them. And then just add another unit of Grey Knight stuff in it if I need to. So, but I say these are kind of like my hobby goals for the next year going ahead. I do want to get back on the hobby wagon. I want to get more interactive with YouTube. I want to try and make the channel a bit bigger and a bit better, because I've gone from like 23 followers to 100 nearly in what, probably space of like a month, which God knows how that happened. But I feel bad for people following me on YouTube and me not uploading regularly, so I'm going to kind of be doing that a little bit more now and uploading regularly. And yeah, just bringing you like hobby vlogs if I can. I'll do army showcases and things. If I find a pretty cool way of doing conversions or something, I'll do a video and I'll show you guys how I do it. But as of today, this is my Grey Knights army, and I hope you all enjoy it. And I'll catch you on next week on the next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and happy 2021.